All right, I've gotten some food into me and some other good stuff. Hopefully now I can function without my stomach grumbling. I can lay the rails, or start to. I can even do a diamond here and not care initially. Again, I'm making it too wide for future expansion if I need it. And I'm finding that I've got to come back further for my downgrades. Hey, this is How Not to Game with Callie Jack. I'm Callie Jack. And as you're seeing, this is how not to build a shoe fly for certain. I definitely goofed that up this time round. And we're just going to have to deal with the fact that I will have to have a temporary, very short term break or bring in the power across and merge here, which I think is what I'm going to do for initial. We are in a terrible era too. If I go to my train depot, I cannot buy passenger cars from 1915 until 1918. Now, if you think about it, historically, that makes sense. Most rail cars were being shipped to France and England to bolster up World War II for all the transport needs that the Americans were going to need, and also all the needs, that were going on. So that makes some sense. It leaves me with just cabooses that I can still buy. And it leaves me with the ability to buy the old obsolete cars, even though most of those are being rounded up and shipped overseas too, as America came into the war in 1916, 1917. I'm looking at this now and I'm saying, okay, let's see what I can do. I'm going to go ahead and let this section be blown. That will now let this go through. I want to do a single up level and then drop down. Same over here, just the other direction. We're going to do a rise, single rise, and the level, and then it comes up to the bridge. Go ahead and put in our bridge. Our cheap, ugly bridge. And I'm actually going to build the bridge to last a little bit longer. Why? Because I can. And because, frankly, I know I'm going to need higher speed rail very, very soon. Once that's done, we can take out the shoe fly segments. And we'll do that with the actual rail remove tool because that cleans it up a little bit better. There we go. Now we've got a nice bridge across, girder bridge, high enough up that other trains can get under it. And then we just do a little bit of a jog here to get us to the point where we're joining up at this point. I am going to do something weird here in that I'm going to disconnect temporarily for a different style of reconnection into our rail barn. Reason is that gives me a longer out feed so I can get, if I dispatch multiple trains, I can get at least one of them out of the shop and ready to rock and roll instead of having to wait in the shop with like 2 or 3 with very short distance. Because once they hit a signal, they actually trip it and puts them into the circulation for who gets to go next. All right. And I am noticing that. Now, with this done, now I can connect down here. Much better. Do my single flag. And I am going to leave this stretch here because that's my dispatch stretch. We could have even have dug down here and kept it higher for a little bit longer, dropping down like here, but that would have goofed up our power system for the streetcar, the trolley. Got our trolley running. Looking at our finances, 127 last year. We're still taking that deeper dig. We thought that 122 was going to be the base. We'd started to recover, but last year we hit 127. Some of that was some jam ups that did not get resolved on screen. Sorry. And it's not through effort of mine to avoid showing you. It was, I thought I hit the button again and didn't look up to see if the record flag was showing. All right. Looking at our Telford coal shaft mine and checking him, he's got 550 tons. You know what? We can actually start dispatching 2 or maybe even 3 rail lines out of this site now. And I'm beginning to think very strongly towards building these up into the 3-car monstrosities that we've got. And he does go to both sites? Yes. So which site is that going to? Telford Power. So we need to take and focus on getting stuff to Telford Power. And we're going to do that through just adding 2 more stations and 2 more trains. We can always take a train off at a later point in time. Luckily, I think I can still buy hopper cars, yes. And we've got a new engine. We've got the Series. And the Series runs at 50, only has a 199, so he's made more for passenger service. We're going to bring that guy down. And I kind of have an idea here that's going to make me seem silly. But I'm going to stick one of my cabooses at the back end to carry 12 people. Why? Because then I can relay from power over to the mine and not have to relay something else. We already take 3 space stations, so we're good that way. We just got to do a dig here to take and widen for an additional spot to deliver to. I'm just going to set this guy up, and again, who's out of that station? It is, if I remember right, that's our Collier 1. Yes, Collier 1. So we're going to take and put a Collier 1, and then we will do one that's without that and see which one actually functions. Now, the problem is I'm worried that it will be the 100% applying to our passengers level. If that's the case, then we will take it off. But I wanted to see, so we're going to fire him loose and then buy another chippy that's just coal. This is an experiment that we're going to see what we can do. Collier 1, whoops. No, I said Collier 1, please. Thank you. And we will see how this works. One thing that we will have to do is we're going to need a platform choose when we come in, and then a platform out choke point. There we go. So this guy will choose which of the 3 platforms those trains go to from now on. All right. So that's not that long into it. We're going to see just how much he slows down. Does take him down to about 30 clicks to get down. So he cuts his speed down about 20 clicks off. So, 40% speed reduction. Gets back up to max though on the other side. So it would have been better to do a partial with a couple, a train length or more. But we don't have the space for that with the town right there and the fact that we're doing this way. Now, checking this guy, let's see if that train, because now we need to find that train. And that is the Birch Telford. And that one, I want to see, do I have waypoints? I do. Remove the waypoints and tell it to go ahead and use this to get there. And then the one waypoint that I do need him to utilize is, of course, this one. And add a stop with a waypoint on the way back. Now let's see if he sees the new line. He does. We can start working at taking out this old line now. Because now the only thing that was running out here was the milkmaid. The milkmaid now goes this way, so we don't need this stretch. Save ourselves some money. This ain't the chaos game where we leave it in. This is the nice thing. I can take out bad rail sections, bad signals, things that we don't need. I mean, this is a lot of rail that we're getting rid of here. Thankfully. Now, I will leave him close to here and this spur out because we've got the sand pit. And we've got to find out, this being the sand pit that goes, I believe, across the lake. Yeah, it goes across the lake to Lakeshore Glass. Or at least what's going to become Lakeshore Glass. As a matter of fact, that's a good name for it. Let's go ahead and name it that right now. Works. There we go. And starting to name some of these is going to help us a little bit too. So like we know that that one mine right there became the Birch. So this is Birch Coal Station. Birch Coaling Station. And that becomes the Birch Coal Mine. And now that we're starting to label things, we can start having some more fun. Because the more fun we have, now there's our problem. We do need to figure a way to extend this guy back a little bit. Good, that guy's not the one coming in, so we can do this little stunt. Do a drop on that one and that one. Slope him down and run him in. Now that way. And there we go. That will let us extend our station. Oops. Our platform here. And then we should still have merge stop does still exist. Too far. Oh, that's no fun. So we must have started all the way back here or here. Either way, we goofed ourselves up. That, or it's considering the center of mass, and if it's center of mass, I can fix that. Same way. Take out that nice clean stuff we did and just extend this platform a little bit. Pricey, but it may work. Still too far away to merge. So those two are going to have to remain separate stations. Darn it. I did goof that up. Now there is another way to get around this. Below the stations. Now come back in and see if by putting it in, it did. So now it's all one station. On Ip's glass yard. There we go. Dirty tricks, dirty tricks, dirty tricks. Pricey tricks, unfortunately. And I think that's going to have to be an episode. We did a lot. Still have a lot to do. We've got to figure out a way to take an unjam right along here. And I think bringing up a second line here, shifting more out. Because like this guy, where's he going? Who is that? That's the birch. We already told him to use over here. But he's not listening. Problems we run into. Problems we run into. But hopefully it won't tie everything up too long. Uh-oh. It may have. It may have indeed jammed everything up too much. Hi there. You. Go to depot. Let's get you beyond a signal. If I can get you beyond the signal, check your schedule. Yeah, you're supposed to be going there. What is your problem? Get him beyond the switch and hopefully he'll see where he's supposed to go is here. Good. There he goes. Yeah, he just didn't see that he was supposed to use this, and it is going to slow this down with this double section. We need to smooth this out and tie this up as a double section where he comes in and can trade over. Things we got to learn. Things that we have to learn the hard way sometimes. I'm Kelly Jack. Have a better day than I'm having.